And for more on South by Southwest, we're joined by Natalie Cofield. She's the president and CEO of the Austin Black Chamber of Commerce. Natalie, thanks for joining us tonight. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Natalie, this is the 29th year of South by Southwest. How would you say the annual conference or festival has evolved over the years?
Well, you know, South by started as something very familiar to Austin, a music conference that really encouraged creativity and hyper-local indie music. And from there, it's really gone to the intersection of how technology and music and film all come together. And so we see in our city close to 400,000 people participate in the conference overall, and that includes both official registrants as well as people who are local attending the host of free programs that happen throughout the 9 days of South by.
Well, why do you think the festival has grown so much in terms of popularity?
I think South by has grown so much because technology is really the foundation of everything that we do today. So what you're seeing is a rise in technology advancements across industry. We're seeing a boom in fintech companies in the financial services industry, ed tech companies in the education sector. And I think people are really coming to terms with the fact that technology is going to help improve overall operations as well as is needed for the globalization of businesses and brands.
Natalie, certainly no denying the impact of technology. And at 2007 South by, Twitter took the show. And in 2009, the show helped skyrocket Foursquare. But there hasn't really been a breakout tech product or service of the same magnitude since. Natalie, is there anything this year that you think could be the next big thing?
Well, in the past, we've seen companies like Highlight, which were kind of geo-based companies that were then integrated into the fabric of what organizations like Facebook and even Foursquare are doing appear here in Austin. But this year, the real company that was all the buzz was Meerkat, which is a live streaming company that kind of had its own little battle with Twitter this year about its own integration into that other social engine. We also saw a rise in data and enterprise solutions. There was a company named PartPick, which actually won the South by Accelerator Award for Enterprise Solutions. So again, I think as we continue to see technology integrated across the fabric of industry, we're going to start to see non-social based companies that don't necessarily need the consumer to the business to consumer method, but more the business to business method. And so they might not be as visible to the consumer as they would be to the large entities.
Well, Natalie, you mentioned business, and one thing that's clear is that South by Southwest has been great for businesses in Austin. It brought in about $315 million last year. How much of an economic boost is expected this year, and where does it mostly come from?
Yeah, you know, South by is a major driver for Austin, both from a global branding perspective and the countless amounts of attention that Austin gets. That is unquantifiable in some instances, but also the amount of business that local businesses get. And that's really important because, again, the whole pretense behind this conference was really the celebration of creativity and local operations. And so you'll see local businesses, small food marts, small food carts. You'll see folks who are actually renting out their places, making money during this time, and not just your large hotel chains and your larger establishments. So there's the direct, there's the indirect, and then there's the induced portion of this and its economic impact to the city of Austin. Not to mention the fact that what happens, I'm sorry.
Well, Natalie, one thing that's clear is South by Southwest is actually more diverse than most tech conferences. Last year, 41% of the attendees were women. That's pretty unusual for this kind of thing. And I believe we're seeing more of a female influence this year. Is that right?
Yes, so women were part of the conversation at South by Southwest this year, and so was diversity, as it should be. And I think there are a lot of people who have been championing the idea of women being a part of the technology scene as we continue to see women leading technology companies, but we need more of that, as we do need that type of diversity across racial and ethnic lines. And so even the conversation about global businesses and emerging markets and technology needs there also gets you to that diversity conversation.
All right. Thank you so much, Natalie Cofield. Good to have you on the show, President and CEO of the Austin Black Chamber of Commerce.